Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybook Family Farm. So today it actually has warmed up quite a bit outside. Pretty much all of the snow has melted and it actually feels like it's like springtime out. So it's like 50 degrees and it is actively raining, so I'm standing underneath the pines so that way I can stay dry. But yeah, yesterday was a very, very busy day for us. I ended up doing 21 quarts of dog food, getting them pressure canned. So it takes roughly 2.5 to 3 hours per batch to pressure can them. It's a very long, lengthy process to do it, but it's definitely the best, most worthwhile way for us to preserve the dog food. So as it stands right now, we have all of it in jars. Tracy's actually home from work today, so she's working on processing some of that so I can actually spend a little bit of time outside. So I think the final count was 57 quart jars full of dog food. And we have been feeding the dogs out of that for the last few days. So we probably actually ended up with about 58, maybe 59 quarts of dog food. So yeah, that's quite a bit. And then with what we already had canned up, we have now about enough dog food for 6 months. So Tracy did tell me that we do have some more stuff to make more dog food. Here in the next couple weeks, we'll probably do another batch, just so that way when it's time to make dog food again, it is not in the heat of summer, because it does heat up the house quite a bit. And it is going to be kind of hard to work on processing dog food when at that time it should actually be time for us to be processing a lot of garden goodies. So it's definitely not, you don't really want to be doing all that at the same time. It's just not very doable. But yeah, so this morning we actually trimmed the hooves of some of the goats. We did not get all of them because it was raining and goats hate rain. But so it was kind of funny when I picked up Lucky to do it, because I have not picked him up since we did the last farmer's market that he went to the market with us, which was in the end of October. Yeah, he definitely needs to go on a diet. I would guess that when we took him to that farmer's market, he was probably about 60 pounds. I guess now he's probably closer to 80. Like, I went to pick him up and I was like, oh my God, like, Jesus, dude. So he's real bad about pushing people, well, not people, goats, out of the feed dishes and stealing everybody's feed. So I definitely think that I'm going to have to go back to what we did in the summertime, and that is pulling him out of the barn or away from the other goats to feed, so that way everybody else gets an opportunity to feed, because he's getting a little too big for his britches. And then we also, today and yesterday was the first day that we actually let the ducks and the geese go out to their original paddock, which I did film a short about that because they did escape and I was chasing a goose around. I had to do, I think, 8 or 9 laps around their pasture area to try to catch him finally. It was ridiculous. Like, 'cause half the time I was even jogging, and it's not very comfortable to jog in bib overalls and steel toe boots in the snow. So that was not very fun. But I did get him back in. Everybody was safe. And then today, the turkeys, they kind of got themselves in trouble, which they're coming up to hang out with me. So they were out for maybe an hour before they reminded me that I really need to put the fence up over here, because they were, which you can't see very far because of the fog, but basically where the fog gets really dense on the neighbor's property, they were all the way over in there. So I had run over and I grabbed both toms and carried them all the way back, which you can't hardly see the barn. Carried them back behind the barn and actually tossed them over the fence in to be with the goats, because they can't fly very well. And then we also did catch 2 of the hens, and we basically put them in timeout as well. So these 3 here, they'll do pretty good about just staying in this like closer area to the human or to the barn, because the rest of their flock is locked up. So this week I probably will actually, if it's not raining too bad, I know it's supposed to rain pretty much all day today, and I think all day tomorrow. I know on Friday it's not supposed to rain, and it's supposed to be like 55 degrees out, so I might try to work on putting up the fence Friday. I'm not sure if we'll get the canning all done today. I know that Tracy's getting a second batch in now, but it just depends on what time that's all done and ready for the next batch to go in, if we're going to do it tonight or if I'm going to do it in the morning. But so I might actually stretch some of the fence out over here, just so then that way I don't have to keep messing with chasing the turkeys around, because they eat way less feed if we're able to free range them, but I don't feel comfortable free ranging them on somebody else's property. That just doesn't seem right to me. plus too, it's not very safe for them to be up by the road and stuff. But yeah, so it's been a pretty eventful and busy last 2 days. So yesterday I forgot to tell you guys this, when I was canning yesterday, this is why I didn't film at all yesterday, I was actually painting in the kitchen the entire time. So all of the white trim that's around the window, the doors in there, and all that sort of jazz, I was painting all of that. So it was a very tiring day, actually, of just up and down and up and down and up and down, trying to get, up on a chair or up on the counter, and then getting back down to check the canner. It was insane. Like, my legs are really sore from doing that. But it looks really nice in there. So hopefully in the next few days we won't be having so much canning mess everywhere, because it makes a big mess. There's just stuff strewn everywhere and stuff. There's not a lot of space in that kitchen, especially when you have nearly 60 jars to set someplace. But so yeah, I got cardboard burning now. I think it's almost actually burnt out. When we had that crazy bad wind that blew down the tree over that way, it also blew down one of the neighbor's pines right over my shoulder. You can see that it's there. It was already dead, so it really wasn't a big deal. But so when I cleaned out over there by the grape arbors and stuff, I'd had a massive pile of multiflora rose, which is right here. It was on the burn pit and stuff, and then the wind actually picked it all up and moved it over here, which freed up the burn pit so I could use that. So that's always nice. Yeah, beyond that, there's really not too much crazy going on around here, just trying to get things cleaned back up and situated and get everybody's routine back to normal. And currently, right now, chasing turkeys, try to get them to go back towards the barn so they don't get themselves hurt or anything. Turkeys are not very smart, so it is kind of a bit of a concern whenever they're out by themselves a whole bunch. So hopefully they'll go back. But so if you guys are enjoying this content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.